Hey everybody, this is GGB co-host Puppers. We're getting back into this Super Bowl action. Who will be the best conference? Is it going to be the Big 12? Is it going to be the ACC? And the Big 12 so far, they've kind of punched the ACC in the mouth. Up 7-3, they have the ball at the 43-yard line. They're driving, and I mean, this offense for this Big 12 is so dangerous. So far, the ACC has been able to lock down players like Tyler Lockett, Sterling Shepard, and Mark Andrews, but Danny Amendola, which is an interesting thing, has been killing them so far, which is weird because Danny Amendola is far from the focal point of this offense and only normally has 2 or 3 catches a ball game, and he so far has been their most productive player, which is weird to me. Shotgun here is Mahomes with Mixon lined up directly behind him. They're going to go pass, but the ACC brings a blitz. He's going to scramble out. He's going to fire it across his body. It's going to be caught by Sterling Shepard. What a throw by Patrick Mahomes. Oh, wait, never mind. Sterling Shepard didn't catch it. I'm wrong. It was an amazing throw by Patrick Mahomes regardless, but Sterling Shepard has had the case of the dropsies here today. That's his second drop pass that could have been caught, and it wasn't. It would have given them a first down. 2 tight end set here, it looks like. They're going to go pass, though. He's going to fire it over the middle to Tyler Lockett, who makes his, I believe, second catch of the ball game here today. Going to get to 3rd and 1, so they're going to have to actually first catch of the ball game. I'm wrong. I swear Tyler Lockett had a catch before that, but 3rd and 1, so you're going to have to make a decision here. I'd run it with Mixon. Mixon has actually been pretty productive here today. I know it's not normal for me to say that about Joe Mixon because he normally is far from productive, at least so far in these playoffs, but today he's been pretty good. I'd go run up the middle with Mixon, but it looks like they're going otherwise. That's going to be a false start, I think, for this offense. Yep, and it's going to back them up 5. So the ACC has a huge chance for a stop here. Penalties called, I believe, on Kalichi El-Sameli. I believe he's from West Virginia, he's one of the few West Virginia. Oh, no, he's on Iowa State. I'm sorry, he's Iowa State. He's one of the few Iowa State players on this roster because Iowa State is not a college known for producing many NFL players. David Montgomery is the only other one I believe on this roster. Shotgun here with Andrew Beck on the field. They're going to go pass. He's going to fire it underneath the Mixon. He's going to get quickly tackled for a 3-yard loss on that play. That's going to go down as a rush, technically speaking. Tackle made there by Kyle Fuller, and they're going to have to punt this ball away. First punt of the ball game for Tress Way. Big-time defensive stop for this defense, and I think this is, in my opinion, the matchup of the 2 best teams. I knew the ACC was one of the 2 best teams. I thought maybe the Big 10 was, but I think the Big 12 has shown consistently throughout these playoffs that the offense, the defense, and the special teams all work. They're going to actually attempt this field goal. Oh, Justin Tucker time from deep. Baker Mayfield's going to hold it. The kick is off. That's going to be well short. And another long field goal that has been missed in this game by Justin Tucker. It's too long of a field goal attempt in the rain. It just doesn't make any sense, and it is significantly short. Way short for this team, and it's going to be some excellent field position for Lamar Jackson and company. Don't know exactly why you did that, Cliff Kingsbury. It made no sense at all. Why would you kick a field goal from that far off? And this offense hasn't exactly been phenomenal either. Now, there hasn't been a punt here today, I don't believe. They do have 2 missed field goals, but no punt for either of these teams so far. But Lamar Jackson has been his legs have been dynamic, that's for sure. His arm has been far from consistent, though, and they have not used Dalvin Cook enough, in my opinion. Shotgun here is Lamar Jackson, 1 tight end set. They're going to go pass. He's going to fire it underneath. That's incomplete. Wide open Darren Waller on the underneath route, and he misses it. It could have been picked off if the guy put his hands up, but unfortunately for the Big 12, he did not. Patrick Mahomes getting a talking to. Don't know quite why. He's been able to lead this offense very well so far, and he's really done a great job. So I don't know why he would be getting a talking to. He's done a great job, especially considering Mark Andrews and Tyler Lockett and Sterling Shepard have all really been locked down. He's been forced to really rely on Danny Amendola to make the big-time plays. Empty set here is Lamar Jackson. Looks like a 4-man rush. They bring a blitz. He was able to get off the D-hop, though. It's going to be a 3rd and 3. able to get his toes in bounds. Only second catch of the ball game here for today for D-Hop. So, again, the number one receivers for both these teams haven't been all that productive. Tyler Boyd he's had a couple of moments here today. Obviously, he has that big-time catch in the first quarter. But outside of that, he hasn't been able to do much. Devontae Parker's done next to nothing. They do draw, but Nick Kwiatkowski is in there to make that play. And I don't know. They're going to credit him with the tackle. Second tackle of the ball game for Nick Kwiatkowski. And Nick Kwiatkowski, again, one of my favorite players on this defense. They're going to have to punt this ball away for sure, unless they're again going to try a really long field goal. And another big-time stop for this defense. And you can see Alex Okafor in the middle, which is why him still being healthy is so important for this Big 12 defense. It looks like they're going to go for it here. I doubt it, though. They're going to go punt. Bradley Pinion is going to be on here for the first punt of the ball game. He will punt this ball away. It's going to be a short punt. About the risky catch there for Tyler Lockett. Don't know exactly why he risked jumping up to try to catch that ball there, but ends up getting it at the 25-yard line. Some pretty good field position for this offense. But that's why Alex Okafor is so important. You saw him stopping on the draw. And while Alex Okafor he does not play defensive end. He's not one of the players that rush the passer. He does play rush defensive tackle. He's one of those players that comes in to play rush the passer at the defensive tackle position. And without him, they would have had to rely on someone else to rush the passer from inside. And luckily, they were able to keep him. Shotgun here from Mahomes. They're going to go play action. He's going to have the time. He has plenty of time. He fires it underneath. That's going to be caught by Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown's another player that he's kind of disappeared these playoffs. Has not done much. He made some big-time catches early on in the Big Ten game, but then kind of disappeared. He didn't do anything in the SEC game, and he didn't do anything in the MAC game either. Looks like a three-man rush here. Although I could see a corner blitz from the outside. They do bring that corner blitz. He's able to get it after a quick slant to Joe Mixon. And again, Joe Mixon has been productive here today. Mark Andrews, I don't believe, is logged to catch here, and they're still up 7-3, which is very amazing to me, considering that Mark Andrews has been their sole contributor on offense this year. He's been their most productive player. Under center here is Patrick Mahomes. They're going to go bring Danny Amendola in motion. He's going to hand it off to him. He's not going to get much on that play. They're going to call one rush for 1 yard. Danny Amendola. And you can see they're trying to use Danny Amendola in a variety of ways. And I think they're really relying on Danny Amendola here because their corners in Jair Alexander and Jalen Ramsey have locked down Sterling Shepard and Tyler Lockett so far today. Shotgun here is Mahomes. It's like a four-man rush. They go draw with Mixon, who's able to bounce his way to the outside, but still only able to pick up about 3 yards on the play. Actually, they call it 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5, so a big-time play here for this Big 12 team to keep the drive alive. 11.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Both these teams are still getting their toes in the water. It looks like a 5-man rush. They bring Andrew back onto the field, which might indicate a run with Mixon. They actually decide to go pass. He's going to scramble out of the pocket. That's going to be a holding call most likely. He's still going to end up being sacked, though, by this ACC defense. It's going to be called a hold. They're going to decline this, and they're going to force a punt here thanks to the sack by that defensive player coming up, making a big-time play. And they're going to have to force to punt this ball away from about midfield. Tressway is a significantly better punter than Bradley Pinion, so most likely they will be pinned instead of what Bradley Pinion did. But let's see what Tressway is able to do. He punts this ball away. That ball's only going to be landed at the 20-yard line. At least he's going to be put at the 23-yard line. So never mind. Only the field position is only about a two-yard difference. But yeah, as you can see there on the stats, D-Hop has been anything but productive here today, which is really interesting and really a testament to how well Xavien Howard has been doing in these playoffs so far, really locking down the number one receiver regardless of what's happening. Done a great job against the Big Ten, did a great job against the ACC, did a great job against the MAC, And now he's doing a great job against the ACC here today. 2 tight end set here with Ebron on the field. Under center here is Lamar Jackson, Dalvin Cook behind him. They're going to go pass, though. He's going to fire it underneath to Ebron, who's going to run. He's going to pick up only about 3 yards on the play. Nice tackle made there by the Big 12 defense. They're able to stop him to only a 4-yard gain. And this is what is really interesting to me is, can they get pressure on Lamar Jackson? The offensive line is really good for the ACC, and the Big 12's defensive line hasn't been able to do that most games. Empty said he fires it underneath the D-hop, but he's only able to get 2 feet in bounds, but he's going to be about a yard short. They call it 2 yards short at first down marker. 3rd catch of the day for D-hop, but he has not been their vertical threat. The only big-time play we saw downfield was when Lamar Jackson threw up that 50-50 ball with Tyler Boyd, and Tyler Boyd went up there and made a big-time catch. As you can see, Alex Okafor is on the field for this play. It's weird because they're showing 5 defensive linemen on the field, which I don't believe is true. 1 tight end set here with Waller on the field. Under center is Lamar Jackson. They're going to run with Dalvin Cook because he hits the cute hole and is able to pick up the first down. Tackle made there by Nick Kwiatkowski and company, but they credit with Chris Harris Jr. with that tackle. Nick Kwiatkowski was definitely in on the play. 1st and 10, they're going to keep the drive moving. They're still going, although it did take them all 3 downs to get that first down. And it's just, nothing's really happened so far this second quarter. No score has happened. There's not been a turnover. It's just kind of been like they're going to drive to about midfield, and then they're going to have to either punt the ball or try a really long field goal and miss. But, again, if I'm the ACC, I understand this is the ACC Buccaneers, so Bruce Arians loves to throw the ball. But honestly, the Ravens' offense would work perfectly with Dalvin Cook and Lamar Jackson. 2 tight ends set here, or actually 3 tight ends set here for this ACC team with Dalvin Cook behind them. They're going to go run up the middle. It's going to be stuffed up the middle. Great play made by number 90 on that defense. Kenneth Murray Jr. is who that is. And as I said before, Kenneth Murray Jr. And Jordan Brooks are both huge reasons why this defense is doing so well and why they have such a good young future. Shotgun here is Lamar Jackson, 1 tight end set here with Darren Waller. Dalvin Cook lined up beside him. They're going to go pass. He fires it underneath to Dalvin Cook. It's going to be inaccurate, though, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 9. So a big-time stop here again. Big-time opportunity here for this Big 12 team. Only 1 sack here so far today for the Big 12. And that was Emmanuel Ogba. So let's see if Jerry Hughes or maybe one of the interior guys can hit home. Either that's Kwiatkowski or Alex Okafor. Shotgun here is Lamar Jackson. They're going to go pass. Obviously, he fires it, and it's going to be caught on the the route. It's Jamison Crowder. That's Crowder, my guy. First catch of the ballgame for Jamison Crowder. And as I said before, keep an eye out for him. And I think also Trey Flowers. He was the player that was in on that play. They probably brought a dime package out on the field. And who would have been covering him if that was Trey Flowers wasn't on the field, which normally he's not in this scenario? It would have been Deshaun Elliott, which is the injury that happened on the first drive of the game. As you can see, again, it pays dividends there. They were able to get it to Jamison Crowder. Shotgun here is Lamar Jackson. They're going to go pass again. He's going to have time. He's going to try and scramble. He's going to be able to pick up about 8 yards on that play. Tackle made there by, I believe, Earl Thomas. Brings up a 2nd and 2. Actually, they credit with Quandre Diggs. And yeah, they're having a pretty good drive offensively. They could, if they get a touchdown here, take the lead. 3 tight ends set here for the team. Looks like a 5-man rush for this Big 12. They bring their number 3 tight end in motion. They're going to hand off Dalvin Cook, who's going to be able to pick up the first down, although not much more. Kenneth Murray Jr. quick to that ball to try and stop him. Does pick up the first down, so good run there, but Kenneth Murray Jr. was all over that. They credit it's his 2nd tackle of the ball game, I believe. It's going to be a 1st and 10, though. They keep the drive moving, and 8 minutes remaining in the second quarter. It's been a good matchup so far between these two. At this point in the ACC Big Ten, ACC SEC, they were kind of killing them. So good job for the Big 12 for hanging in. 3 tight end set here for the ACC with Dalvin Cook. They're going to go hand off to Dalvin Cook, who has some running room, but he's going to get quickly tackled by, I believe, a combination of Kenneth Murray Jr. and Quandre Diggs on that play. Great play made by, actually, Earl Thomas. So I was right. Like, I don't know why they credit Quandre Diggs for the tackle. It was 27 last time, and I thought that was Earl Thomas's number, and it is. So Earl Thomas and Kenneth Murray Jr. combined to make that tackle there. Great play by both of them, able to read that. And Mekhi Becton is not fast enough to get out there and block Earl Thomas III, and that's what causes the stop there. And it's bringing up 2nd and 11. So good play there by the Big 12, and they kind of needed it. The ACC has been killing on this drive so far. 2 tight end set here for the ACC. Under center is Lamar Jackson. Dalvin Cook lined up directly behind him. They're going to go actually pass here. He fires it underneath to Darren Waller. That's inaccurate. Good coverage by Kenneth Murray Jr. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 11. So the Big 12 Cardinals can force a huge stop here. I don't know if they're in field goal range considering it's been raining. Harrison Butker is normally a very solid kicker, but he's missed one from distance today already. Shotgun here, Lamar Jackson. They're going to go pass. They bring a blitz. Actually, they don't. Kwiatkowski. He's going to scramble. He's going to not pick up the first down, though. Tackle is made by the Big 12 defense, and more specifically, Quandre Diggs on that play, kind of their nickel player. I don't know if he's their nickel player exactly, because I don't know how to exactly explain Quandre Diggs, because Jason Verrett comes a lot for their nickel. He's just kind of a rotational player that plays a lot, but he does make a big-time play there, and he's going to force Harrison Butker to make a decently long field goal. So let's see if he can make it from somewhat deep. So let's see. He's already missed one from distance today. Harrison Butker's kick is up. It's going to be short once again, and another 3rd missed field goal of the day for the kickers. And you can see they're struggling here in this rain in the Super Bowl. This is why it's normally played in a dome, but in the ACC in Tampa, and there's a rainstorm today, and it's caused some missed field goals, and it's really hurt the ACC more than it's hurt the Big 12. Only one missed field goal for the Big 12. It could right now be a 10-9 ball game if it wasn't raining, but we still have a 7-3 ball game because it is raining. And nothing has happened so far in this second quarter of action. 6.5 minutes left for both these teams to try and make an impact. Big 12 try to stretch their lead before halftime. They're going to go play action here. He's going to be hit while he's throwing it, and that's going to be picked off. And they're going to return this. Let's see if they can get it to. They're going to get it to about the 28-yard line. That's the first pick of the ball game for Derwin James Jr. Big time pressure off the edge, ends up in a pick, and the ACC gets the ball right back. Big time hit, and it causes Derwin James Jr. to be able to jump that route, pick it off. It was really covered well by Jalen Ramsey and Matt Milano, regardless. And DeAndre Hopkins retakes the field. Again, he has not been the player that I've expected him to be these playoffs. He has not been the player you've had to account for. He's not been, I don't know how to explain this, the Michael Thomas or the Stephon Diggs like the Big Ten had. But he's not been super productive, despite being one of the most highly rated wide receivers in Madden. He's got to be better down the stretch. Empty set here is Lamar Jackson. He's going to go pass, obviously. He has plenty of time. He fires it under. That's going to be picked off. Second pick, he's going to be quickly tackled immediately. But Quandre Diggs, again, he makes a big-time play. Second big-time play in a row for him. And it's going to be back-to-back picks. One pick by by Patrick Mahomes and by Lamar Jackson there. And Jason Verrett was right there to make the pick, and Quandre Diggs just kind of steals it from him. But still, a big-time play made by Quandre Diggs. And as you can see, the secondary has a lot of depth, which is why the Deshaun Elliott injury might not hurt as much as a lot of people think. But Trey Flowers having to come in really does kind of hurt them, because you don't want Trey Flowers on the field. He is one of their weakest secondary players. So shotgun here is Mahomes with Mixon lined up beside him. He's going to go pass again, 4-man rush. He's going to have time. He fires it. That's going to be caught. Oh, it is. It's caught. What a throw. What a catch between Patrick Mahomes and I believe Sterling Shepard on the outside. He's able to stand in the pocket. He's able to fire a dime really out to Sterling Shepard. He's able to get both feet in bounds. Great coverage there by I believe, Jair Alexander or Jalen Ramsey. I believe it's Jair Alexander, though. Tampa is actually going to challenge the ruling on the field, so we'll see if that is actually going to be a catch or if they're going to overturn this. Let's see. Did he get both feet in bounds? I got it. Let me see it in slow motion. That's 1 foot. Does he get the second foot dragged down? I don't know. I just don't see that you have the angle to overturn that. I don't see that being overturned. I think ACC just wasted a timeout. They actually overturned that. I'm sorry. I guess I was wrong. I thought there was no way they overturned it. I was incorrect. That was overturned, so good challenge there by Bruce Arians, it turns out. And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. So I thought it was a perfect throw by Mahomes and a perfect catch by Sterling Shepard. Turns out to not be that. So shotgun here for Mahomes with Mixon lined up almost directly beside him. They're going to go pass again. They're going to block Mixon. He's going to fire it. It's going to be caught by Danny Amendola, who's going to pick up a first down again. And Danny Amendola, they kind of went away from him last drive. The drive before they threw the peck, and I think that was a mistake. 3rd and inches. Let's see what they do. They've been known to bring Andrew Beck onto the field, so I wouldn't be surprised if they brought Beck onto the field for a run. They do not here. It's going to be interesting, though. They go shotgun with Mixon lined up beside him. Did they go run with Mixon? They're going to go run with Mixon, and he's going to have just enough to get that first down, gets to the 40-yard line, about 2 yards on that play. So they're going to keep the chains moving here. John Johnson III is credited with his 3rd tackle of the ballgame. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 for this offense, which is, it started out the game so good. It drove down the field so well. But after that, obviously Mahomes made that big-time mistake on the last drive where he threw it straight to Derwin James Jr. Luckily, it didn't end up costing them because Quandre Diggs came back and picked them off right after that. Can they take advantage of this momentum? We'll see. Shotgun here is Mahomes. They're going to go handoff to Mixon, who's going to be tackled at around the line of scrimmage, about no gain on the play. They call it a gain of 1. But Justin Simmons ends up making a big-time play. And you know what's interesting, and I don't know if I mentioned this last game, but Chandler Jones, again, he's not available for this game, so Bradley Chubb's rushing off the edge, who is a significant not as good pass rusher. So watch that. He's able to get off to Mark Andrews, so I believe that's his first catch of the ball game. So Mark Andrews' first catch of the ball game. Let's see if they can get him going a little bit more. Really, for the ACC's defense, has done a phenomenal job here today. They've been able to really lock down Sterling Shepard and Tyler Lockett. I kind of expected that with Jalen Ramsey and Jair Alexander, but Mark Andrews has been really on lockdown here today. 2 running back set here. They're going to bring, I believe, Carson in motion. They're going to hand off to Mixon, who has a hole, and he's able to pick up about 14, 15 yards on that play. Big-time run by Joe Mixon. And again, as I said before, Joe Mixon has been impressive this game. And in most games outside of the MAC game, he has been underwhelming. In the SEC game and the Big Ten game, he's faded away. But when his team has needed him today, he has stepped up big time, and he has run extremely well here today. We've yet to see another running back take a snap, which is interesting because we saw David Montgomery take a snap last game. So we'll see if we see a little bit of David Montgomery and Chris Carson today. It looks like a blitz here by the ACC. They're going to go hand off to Joe Mixon. He's going to go nowhere. The ACC was already in the backfield to tackle him for a loss of 4. But you can chew this clock if you're the Big 12, and you could take a 4-point lead heading into halftime. It's been low scoring. It's a low-scoring affair so far, which is normally would play into the ACC's hand more than the Big 12's hand. But the Big 12's defense has played so phenomenally well here today. They still have this lead regardless. So 2nd and 14. I think they might want to start throwing it with Mahomes. He is still the best player on the field regardless. So let's see what happens. Shotgun with Mixon lined up directly behind him. They're going to go pass. They bring a 4-man rush, so he's going to have time. He's going to throw on the run. That's going to be way out of bounds. Trying to get to Mark Andrews on the run. I probably should have just taken the scramble there and gotten him out. But 3rd and 14, it's too long to really attempt a field goal unless you're like I'd like to say inside the red zone. I feel like taking a field goal is ill-advised. Looks like a 3-man rush here by the ACC, so you got to pick it up on this 3rd and 14. They're going to bring a blitz. Mahomes is going to scramble out of the pocket. He's going to scramble, period, and he's going to get just short of that first down. And big-time tackle made there by one of the Fuller brothers, I believe. Kyle Fuller, I think. It's going to bring up a 4th and 3. 27-yard line, and you got to be tempted to kick this field goal, but I would just straight up go for it. The field goal kicking has not been ideal here today. Sure, you want to put your faith in Justin Tucker, and I understand that. Justin Tucker's one of the better kickers in this league. But still, I feel like I'd put the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands. It looks like they're sending Justin Tucker out. Actually, nope. 3 tight ends set here. Fullback Andrew back on the field. Looks like it might be a run. Otherwise, they're going to go pitch to the outside. He's going to get tackled in the backfield. Chris Carson ends up getting his second rush, but it's going to be for -7 yards. Derwin James Jr. makes another big-time play. First tackle for loss for him. Has a turnover on downs. And don't forget, he already has the pick here today. And the pitch ends up not working out well. And I don't know if I would have gone with the pitch. Definitely didn't seem like they had big bodies on the field. You probably could have tried to punch it up the middle. But regardless, Lamar Jackson and company gets the ball at about the 30-yard line, 33-yard line. And, no, 30-yard line. And if you're Lamar Jackson, obviously you can't turn the ball over. But you got to figure out a way to feed DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, it's just a requirement. He is such a phenomenally good player that it just seems like a waste not to get him the ball. Shotgun here. The Big 12 brings a blitz. He's going to be able to scramble away from it. He fires it underneath to Dalvin Cook, who's going to get tackled quickly by Nick Kwiatkowski for about a 2-yard gain. They call it a 1-yard gain. And Bruce Arians is talking up the defense. They've done a really good job here today. Second catch of the ball game for Dalvin Cook. Only has 1 yard, though. 2nd and 9. I'm really interested to see how this game is going to work out the rest of the time. Again, the ACC has a chance to score before the end of this half and either take the lead or come really close to tying it. So watch out for the ACC. Their offense is rather explosive. They're going to bring a 4-man rush here. He's going to have time. He's going to scramble. He's going to end up getting sacked, I believe, technically speaking, by Alex Okafor, I believe, on that play. And again, Alex Okafor is a player to watch. I'll say it before I say it again. He's a player that if the coin flip had gone wrong, they would have lost, and it would have been a big-time loss for them. But instead, they end up getting to keep him. They're going to bring a 5-man rush here. He's going to get sacked again. Another sack for this Big 12 team, and an injury to the ACC offensive line. That's going to be killer if it turns out to be serious for this ACC team. You cannot lose offensive linemen. And it doesn't look as bad as an injury as Deshaun Elliott. It seems like he's just working out his arm, so it could be an arm injury. Arms are pretty important for offensive linemen, but at the very least, it doesn't seem like he still has a chance. Still has a chance to return in this game. Fortunately for them, the ACC has to use a timeout that's going to stop the clock. And a great defensive possession there by this Big 12. Able to get a big-time stop. They're going to force a punt by Bradley Pinion, who did not have a huge leg last time he kicked. So let's see what happens here. He's going to boot this one away. This one actually does have a decent-sized leg, but he's only get it to about the 42-yard line. It's going to be great field position for this Big 12 team. And if you're the Big 12, I think the goal is to put up a touchdown before halftime. A minute 51 seconds, the 42-yard line, 3 timeouts. I think it's very much within the realm of possibility. Plus, you have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. I think settling for a field goal is going to be hard, regardless of where you are on the field. I feel like you have to be inside the 20 for it to be even, remotely realistic that you make it, just considering how much it's been raining here today. Shotgun here is Mahomes. Looks like a 5-man rusher by the ACC. They bring all 5. He's going to fire it underneath. It's going to be incomplete to Danny Amendola. It's going to be Danny Amendola's first drop of the day. I was right on target from Patrick Mahomes, but unfortunately Danny Amendola is unable to keep it in his hands. And a good defensive possession by the ACC. The blitz ends up getting to him. Has to get it out quickly, and Danny Amendola not able to make the catch. Shotgun here with Mahomes. He's going to go pass again. He's going to fire it underneath to Mixon, who's going to run out of bounds almost immediately. So, again, now the ACC has a great opportunity to make a stop here, force the punt, and and have a chance to score before halftime again. And this defenses for both of these teams have been doing a phenomenal job. So let's see what they do here. One tight end set here, obviously, with Mark Andrews on the field. Shotgun is Mahomes, 5-man rush. They're going to actually bring a 6th man. He's going to fire it. It's going to be wide open. Sterling Shepard is going to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive, keep the hope to score another, at the very least, 3 points before halftime. Only second catch of the ball game here today for Sterling Shepard. And as you can just see, it's the great job done by Jalen Ramsey and Jair Alexander. I've been able to see Tyler Lockett's, or really anyone's name outside of Danny Amendola all game long. It's been a lot of Danny Amendola, and we've seen a good amount of Joe Mixon. Outside of that, the top two wide receivers have been locked down. Mark Andrews hasn't been able to do much. Looks like a 3-man rush. He's going to have time. He's going to throw it underneath to Mixon, who's going to get tackled in bounds, which was a dumb choice. Only ends up getting a yard on the play. Actually end up losing a yard on the play. So not good if you're Mixon. Jalen Ramsey makes his second tackle of the ball game, 2nd and 11. And you want to keep moving. If you're Cliff Kingsbury, I would be running no hurry up or no huddle or calling a timeout. Joe Mixon's inability or unwanting to run out of bounds confuses me. They call it timeout, but not after wasting about 10 seconds of precious time. In the Super Bowl, it's going to be some pretty I think this is some pretty poor clock management, in my opinion. 2nd and 11, 46-yard line. You can definitely score. You have a minute, but you have to actually use your time effectively. You actually have to be able to drive down the field. They bring Andrew Beck on the field for this play. As you can see, they use Andrew Beck a lot in this offense. Shotgun here is Mahomes. They're actually going to send Andrew Beck in a motion. He's going to fire it to Danny Amendola. Another completion for Danny. And they're going to call another timeout. That's going to leave him with only one timeout here. And they have about 56 seconds. They're at the 29-yard line. So I think it's, at the very least, they're getting a field goal on this position, barring Mahomes turning the ball over. So we'll see. I definitely think the Chandler Jones injury is affecting them. So Chris Carson comes out on the field for this play to mix up with Mixon. Mixon's going to block here. He's going to scramble out of the pocket. Mahomes is going to get sacked in the backfield. It's Bradley Chubb's first sack of the ball game. And, I mean, I was talking before about Chandler Jones being out of the ball game and Bradley Chubb being forced to rush the passer instead. Bradley Chubb makes a big-time sack on that play, and a play where Mahomes really could have just tossed the ball out of bounds and saved some clock and yardage. Bradley Chubb's able to get him down regardless, though. So great play made there by Bradley Chubb. And they're huddling up for some reason with only 35 seconds left. They're sitting at the 33-yard line. You have a timeout. Looks like a 6-man rush. They drop out only a 4-man rush. He's going to have time, but he's eventually pressured. He's going to fire it, and it's going to be just throwing it away there. They're sitting at the 33-yard line. That's still, in my opinion, a little bit too long to take a field goal, considering all the field goal kickers' troubles here today. It's 3rd and 14. You need to at least get some of this to make this an easier kick for Justin Tucker to make. Shotgun here. Looks like a blitz here by the ACC. They do bring a corner blitz. He's going to fire it underneath to Mark Andrews. He's going to get tackled for only about a 5-yard gain. And if I'm the Big 12, I take a timeout with only about 5 seconds left maybe, and then kick this field goal with Tucker. Make sure they don't have any time to do anything on offense. So let's see what the Big 12 actually uses logic here, or if they just go with the illogical plan of just letting the clock run out or taking the timeout too early. Great coverage there by Matt Milano, making sure, he's open, sure, but you also don't let him make the big-time play after the catch. Make sure you tackle him inbounds. But it's a good decision. It gets him 4 more yards, actually 5 more yards, and it makes it an easier field goal kick for Justin Tucker. And 5 yards can make a big difference in this game, especially in field goal kicking. Let's see if Justin Tucker can make his first field goal of the night. That good. The kick is up. It's going to be good. First kick made, second kick made of the night. First kick made by Justin Tucker, and he's able to hit it from decently far out. It's not, definitely was on the downward angle as it was going in, but they are able to take a 7-point lead heading into halftime, barring them making a huge catastrophic mistake on the kickoff. with 6 seconds remaining. That's why I would have waited a little bit longer to take that timeout. But they're going to have to kick this ball away. I doubt they're going to be able to do something spectacular over halftime. Jamison Crowder is back there to receive this kickoff. Let's see. Justin Tucker is to kick this ball away. It's going to be short. It's going to be returnable by Crowder, that's for sure. He's going to be able to bring it up the middle. He's going to get tackled about the 24-yard line. 2 seconds remaining. I'd bet the ACC Buccaneers just take a knee. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know not much happened, but we're getting into the last 2 episodes. Tomorrow is going to be the second to last episode of this series, and we're going to see which conference is going to come out on top, guys. Yeah, the ACC is going into kneel formation, and this is going to be just about end this second half as soon as he takes the knee. But hey, everybody, this is GGB co-host Pepper saying adios, amigos.